Derek.
Hey Trey, here we are.
Dude, this is episode 56. If you add that together, it's 11, which makes 1 1, which it's the motocross series, and we had 2 1-1s this weekend out in California. How the hell are you?
I'm impressed you came up with that quick.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm good. I'm hot. It's hot. It's been a hell of a hot weekend.
Well, much like the motocross guys, we are also out here doing some heat training on the pool deck at La Casa Schaefer, and it is. I think we were looking at the computer. It's 100 degrees right now.
Mm-hmm.
We got a nice fan blowing some nice warm air around, but we're gonna hit episode 56, which was we took a week off so that you could rest, which meant that you did work for your wife, which is what we all do.
Yeah.
When we take weeks off, and we're covering round 1 of Pro Motocross, which was at Paula. I hate that track, but honestly, it raced nice this weekend.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool.
It looked good.
It was kind of dry towards the end.
Yeah.
The beginning was actually kind of wet.
There was some supposedly they didn't really. I think they safety touched some stuff, but they didn't touch much from practice through the last moto.
No, it didn't break down too bad.
No.
Braking bumps were pretty rough, but other than that, it was pretty decent track.
That uphill section looked like a hill climb at the end.
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting, but track had some massive booters on it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I don't like to jump, and I think I could have pulled a tear off on some of those just because
hang time.
Yeah, it was awesome. So we're gonna cover round 1, and like we said, there were 2 1-1s this weekend. One, I think we all kind of possibly expected, and 2, the second one in the 250 class. Damn, the kid can ride, but this show that they put on is, we're going to discuss that later, but let's dive in, man. I mean, 250 class. Oh, by the way, we had a 450 exodus to the 250 class because we have a fill-in ride from one of our local team guys.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start, man. 250s. What's on your mind?
It was okay.
It's okay.
There's a lot of a lot of drama, and we just talked about this. We had some penalties that shouldn't have been, and some penalties that were not and should have been. If they were going to penalize anybody, they should have penalized them all.
I saw a tweet X or whatever. What do you call a tweet now? Is it an X? I saw an X. If I saw an X, that means I saw one of my ex-girlfriends.
That's a good question. Yeah. I don't know.
But I saw a tweet from one of the he's one of the prolific Xers, tweeters, and he's like, was it the Moto Aftermath show? Like, he's like, here's my thought. Either, and he did, either, neither. Like, that was his thing. Either, neither. Should have been penalized or shouldn't have been penalized.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Vial, we saw the acceleration. You can, I mean, we're watching TV. We can see the acceleration. Like, when there is a roost coming off your tire, you're accelerating.
See, I'm very torn on this. I get it's AMA rules, but outdoors and Supercross are two different things. Accelerating on Supercross, you can gain an advantage. Motocross is actually really hard to gain an advantage, and neither of those gained an advantage by any means. I don't think anybody should have been penalized. I don't think any advantage was gained. I know you can't accelerate off the track, but it's not like you'll see a lot of guys that literally will pull off the track. They make a mistake, they'll pull off the track. If you were to accelerate then and miss a whole section, yes. But if you jump off the track, like on accident, you get cross-rutted, and you're carrying so much speed when you're coming off that track anyway. I see no difference between Jett and Deegan and Tom Vial in the acceleration. Hayden did slow down before he got back onto the track. Tom jumped onto the track. But as far as their time off the track was the exact same pace in both scenarios. I think they either both should have been penalized or neither.
Okay.
I choose neither.
I will, and I'm kind of with you. Like, dude, it was a few years ago when Cian Cirillo was having his run in the Pro Motocross, and he went off the track a couple times, and Starr kind of went after him, and He wasn't penalized. He was careful. He waved back to the safety workers.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Denver, Colorado, one of them was. And it's kind of like, I'm kind of with you. Deegan went off twice. Vial went off once. There were guys that were literally moving off the track when they were getting lapped. Why aren't we penalizing them? Because they're pulling off to get out of the way. And then I'm sure they're accelerating to get back on so they don't lose more spots. Are we harping on this because it was Vial and Deegan? Or are we harping on this because one got penalized and one didn't?
I'm at the because it wasn't a fair playing field. It was they both either shouldn't have been or should have been.
I heard it wasn't just KTM. Kawasaki was at the AMA trailer too. The results were not posted for hours.
Correct.
So I don't think it was just a. But here's the deal. Kitchen, he would have actually won the overall, but Deegan would have had to have been penalized both motos, and he wasn't penalized the first moto. So how can you go back and penalize him on the second moto for the same thing you did in the first moto?
You can't. I mean, technically, if you go by AMA results and like in the amateur levels, you have 20 minutes to protest, which is technically your penalization period. So, but it doesn't matter. Like you can't do it to one and not the other. I don't care who they are. I don't think that was the case. I don't think it was because of who it was.
Yeah,
it was just I don't think there was enough thought went into how they were penalizing. I suppose I don't know. I think there's probably going to be a lot of. I think they're being too ridiculous on these penalties anyway.
Yeah.
We're turning racing into, cheerleading.
Well, it's turning into like F1 and soccer.
There's no reason for it. It's if they go out and do something stupid, yes, or you literally pull off the track, make passes, and get back on, and that deserves a penalty. For you to jump off it's motocross. You jump off the track.
Yeah.
You get thrown off the track. You get cross-rutted.
Deegan was jumping off the track on that uphill section.
Mm-hmm.
He was outside the barriers on the.
I noticed that too.
But he was He wasn't gaining anything. It was a line. That line wasn't any faster than any other line. We're nitpicking. I'm not a Hagen. I say this improperly. I am a Hayden Deegan riding fan. The guy is riding a motorcycle like a beast. He proved his worth in this race. Mm-hmm. Also, his home track. Until Yamaha moved to Florida, this was where they trained all the time. This is a home race for Hayden Deegan. Great ride, but he put in the work. I'm not digging on Hayden Deegan. Tom Vial made a mistake. He accelerated. He got back on the track. He missed one hump on the track, basically is what he missed.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to like do pity parties for people, Levi Kitchen is running first. There's a track marker in the track that somehow, I'm guessing his front tire kicked up and shot it into his boot.
Yeah, and they shouldn't be able to come out that easy.
Yeah.
So
why are they there?
There's so many scenarios that happened in this race that are questionable.
But the racing wasn't malicious. The passes weren't malicious. There was nothing malicious. These off-track excursions, like you've said, they happen.
Mm-hmm. It was all any of the incidents like this were all AMA or track related.
Yeah,
I mean, it has nothing to do with. There was nobody bam-bamming anybody.
No.
It was nothing like that.
Well, even Bam Bam didn't bam-bam anybody.
No, it was just typical racing. I mean, honestly, the racing wasn't that exciting. It was just the stupid stuff that happened in between.
No, the racing wasn't exciting. The track. I don't think this track lends itself, but the track actually broke down properly this race.
Mm-hmm.
Moto 1, I will tell you, I really thought Levi had it in the bag. Actually, the racing isn't that important. Hayden put on a hell of a charge, or Levi was managing. We never know.
Mm-hmm.
We never know. Here's the exciting parts of this are on the podium. Hayden saying, I've trained with Levi for years. I know at some point he's going to get tired. I don't think Levi got tired. I think he wasn't sure what the hell happened to his boot and this.
Yeah, there was no tired about that. He had to pull that thing out.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get impelled. but I I don't know that Hayden would have passed him. It would have been
It would
close.
have been
I think
close.
there would have
Yes.
been a battle at the end, but there's 2 laps to go, and he had to pull that thing out of his boot, and Hayden got around. So I think it would have been a race, and I think Levi probably could have held him off long enough to finish the last 2 laps. So another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think he probably could have done it. There might have been some front tire showing here and there, but um, I think it was an unfair win. I mean, but it's racing is
It is
racing.
racing. Yeah. Here's the positive for Hayden. When he passed Levi, he put on a charge.
Yeah.
He put on a charge. He rode the motorcycle. He did not. This was not show. This was work.
Mm-hmm.
And he put in the work. Levi had it, but if you look at the results, they were so far behind. I mean, third and fourth. Well, hold on. Tom and Chance Hymas were so far behind, but all of a sudden, Chance finishes third because Tom gets penalized. So, congratulations to Chance Hymas getting on the podium. Tom Vial, the world champion, rode fine, but they smoked him. 17 seconds. That's the gap. It gets worse in the second moto, but they smoked them.
Yeah.
But
yeah, there was no comparison.
No.
I mean, those two were so far ahead, but I truthfully think Levi could have. Hayden might have been faster, but I think Levi could have kept him behind him. Prevented the passes because kept Deegan going on the outsides and having to take that extra amount of track and just 2 laps to hold him down. I think that's all. That's all he had to do. A lap and a half really.
Yeah.
At that point, I truthfully think that Levi could have won that moto anyway.
It was a good that battle. Watching Hayden come through and that's where I have this conundrum of feelings because I'm not a huge Hayden Deegan fan. I like the way he rides a motorcycle. The YouTube version of Hayden Deegan, I don't really give a shit about.
I think it needs to stay on YouTube and stay out of the professional realm of racing.
I have a question. How many other parents, man friends, so on, do you see they have the podium tent set up? How many other in the past 2 years in those podium tents do you see parents or man friends under the tent at the conclusion of a race?
None of them. It's all mechanics.
It's all mechanics.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see Myrtle. Sometimes.
Occasionally. Some home races you'll get.
Yeah.
You might get Dazzy out there,
Yeah.
or I mean that's not a home race for them. None of them are, but you get my drift here. Yeah, occasionally you'll get that, but this is every race.
Why are Deegan's mom and dad under the tent? Dude, your son is a professional racer. Like, let it go. Let it go. Go to Charlotte and watch your daughter race the Xfinity race. Like, let it go. Let your son's good.
Yeah.
Excuse my French, you're fucking up this guy's career.
Yeah.
But I don't think they care. I think they get so much play on YouTube.
Yeah.
They don't care.
It's all it's like a money game anymore.
Yeah. I just
publicity.
But nonetheless, let's talk about the results. Chance Hymas was fourth before the penalty. Awesome ride by the second Honda guy.
I'm more impressed with Joey Savacci coming back.
Joey Savacci and Jalek Swoll.
Yeah, Jalek Swoll did awesome, but Joey Savacci coming back from so long off.
Yes.
And pulling a fifth is awesome. Joey's always been one of my favorite riders. He's a really cool guy, really cool story. I mean, we're not going to dig into the Joey Savacci story, but listen, he suffers from a lot of mental stuff. So like, listen to his story. But for him to be off so long and then come back, or even to get a ride with Triumph is cool, and then to come put on a show like that. So that was cool. Jordan, our typical top is like what it should be.
But let's talk real quick. Joe Shimoda. Here's always the discussion with Joe Shimoda. He's never going to win a championship because he doesn't start winning until the results don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
He finished 8th first moto.
Mm-hmm.
No pressure. We're back in 8th. You're back there with Ryder D, Pierce Brown 10th, Nate Thrasher. The ones I didn't really talk much there's a lot of young names from 13th through 17th here, with Julian Beaumaire, Mark Phineas, Casey Cochran, Jet Reynolds, Lux Turner. Oh, and by the way, factory Yamaha Nick Romano 18th, right in front of
Cody Schock
Schock.
was surprising.
I'm not surprised. I'm actually not. The reason I highlighted him, that team struggles in the outdoors.
They do.
With the 250
Yeah.
bike.
Yeah, that it doesn't have the power that a lot of them have. I will give them that.
So I'm not shocked, but the fact that he persevered, I'm it's cool.
Outdoors is really a factory.
Yes.
Factory level racing.
Yes.
Now you had Master Pole last year who.
But on the 450s, it's different.
It is totally different. You can ride a 450 just like a factory 450, a stock 450, and there's really not much power difference.
But the
250s are, and I think it really showed for Ty this weekend.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna get it. Daxton Bennick, another factory Yamaha guy, 20th. Ty Masterpool was up in 6th when he had his first crash,
mm-hmm.
And then the one that they kept showing was later on when he rode the bull and the bull won, and he got launched off in the little roller section. To come 24th, your first ride, HBI 450 rider, literally on Thursday, rides the 250 bike for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing Pro Circuit, Bones, all those guys, the suspension was kind of like, I don't know what this is about to. Oh, this is what it does. Woo!
Yeah. I think it was a total. Obviously, it was a total shift for him.
Yeah.
Going from the HBI bikes to a factory bike is.
Yeah. And 450 to 250.
Yeah, I mean there's a massive learning curve, and I think it's going to be a rough season for him, honestly. There's a lot to get used to.
But if he can get points. If he gets points and he puts it like he does in the second moto, I think Pro Circuit, that's all they're asking.
Mm-hmm.
If he's a top 10 guy, which he was in the second moto, I think he's fine. I had some more highlighted names. Anthony Bourdon, which we all fell in love with in the Supercross series, because this kid comes over and he's all of a sudden this like top 10 guy in the 250 Supercross, 25th in the first moto. Evan Ferry, the Triumph, oh my God, we're moving to Georgia, everything's going to Georgia, and now he's riding gas, and
doesn't look so good.
No, that was not a. You finish right behind an HBI. You finish right in front of an HBI rider.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not making light of HBI. I'm making light of Evan Ferry. Varola is a guy who was making nice shows or not making nice shows by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be the next coming, and you finish just in front of on the verge.
Yeah.
250
and you're a long ways off the top 10.
Yeah.
Long way.
Yeah. Hardy Munoz, I don't know if he was one of those early crashers, but I do know that if he crashes early, it's over.
It's kind of over.
Game over. And so HBI, not a great showing first go around, I think, but they should be proud. Exactly. If you go back, watch Matt Bell and Darla speak about what their goal was for this program.
Mm-hmm.
Mission accomplished.
Oh yeah, they've exceeded their expectations. Yeah. Now it's going above and beyond at this point.
Yeah. So we're going to do a little, I know it goes 250, 450, 250, 450 overall, but what we're going to do is we're going to talk 250s the whole time, because I want to get through this whole Hayden Deegan and all that stuff crap. Moto 2, Hayden goes out and does what Hayden needs to do. And you and I both feel the same way. He's a good rider.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good rider. But Levi gave him everything he wanted this time.
Yeah, and it was, 2-second difference at the end. Yeah. I mean, that's not much to complain about. It kind of knew it was going to be this way anyway. They're both incredible riders. I expect Tom Vial to be a little bit higher than he is. This is kind of his realm, and now all of a sudden he's a Supercross guy, not an outdoors guy, which is.
I think he'll be fine. I really think this track is just not something that most. And I know he raced the World Championships and they raced on car parking lots sometimes, but I just think this is a different. If you're used to this,
Yeah.
Levi Kitchen and Hayden Deegan.
This is their territory.
This is their territory. So I would expect as we move west,
Yeah,
maybe not this weekend coming up in Hangtown, but maybe as we start going to Denver and moving out, you'll start seeing that Tom Vial world champion excel a little more. But he's gonna have to pick up some speed because they were almost 39 seconds behind.
Yeah.
That's,
which is too far for
yeah,
that level.
yeah. Especially if you from him back, you get, let's see, Hayden and Levi smoked everybody. Third through eighth was almost a minute behind. Like that's
Yeah.
you've destroyed everybody. And if you look at the results, Tom Vial finished third, just like he did in Moto 1. Chance Hymas finished fourth, just like he did in Moto 1. No penalty, so they maintained. Jalik Swoll finished fifth. The only reason he finished fifth is because Savachi fell and couldn't get back high enough. So Jalik took his spot. Joe Shimoda finished sixth. Nate Frasher finished seventh. Pierce Brown finished eighth. How about the rookie Julian Beaumer finished ninth? But Ty Masterpool, this is his second moto on this bike and finishes top 10.
And puts it together.
That says a lot. Like, it's got to be I mean, I know these guys, this is what they do. You're riding for Mitch Payton and you're riding for Pro Circuit. There's a pressure there that is not normal.
And it is hard. It doesn't matter if he was on Cowie before or not. Those bikes are set up totally different. So to overcome that obstacle in one moto,
Yeah.
I mean, to kind of get a good feel for the bike and to lose 250 cc's, 200, it's game changing.
I bet you he probably almost lost 250 cc's.
Yeah, if you think about it. I mean, HBI's got a good motor.
Yeah,
they do. But to go from what he had to this it's huge.
Real props to Mark Phineas.
Mm-hmm.
A great moto. Ryder D, I'm going to really pay close attention to Ryder D this summer because I expect he grew up doing outdoors.
Yeah.
I expect him to be higher in the pecking order than 12th.
I think he'll get better. He is really good at outdoors.
Yeah.
I think it'll slowly gain. Like you said, I think once they get, he's a California kid. You think he would actually do a little bit better, but I think once they come west, like PA, you get to like High Point and stuff like that. I think things are going to change a little bit.
Joey Savachi, 13th. What a good ride coming back from literally being on the ground. Daxton Bennick did a little better. Jett Reynolds, I guess Jett Reynolds he is kind of with the Cody Shock. I mean, 16, 17, I guess I don't want to say that's where we expect them. Until Muck Off Club MX can prove they have more in the tank, I don't blame this on the riders. I think this is kind of where they are.
They got to figure out that outdoor bike.
Yeah.
There's got to be some kind of they can put more resources into something for outdoors.
Jordan Smith, he must have fallen because 18th is not where I expect to see Jordan Smith. Ryder McNabb, the Canadian champion, who's getting some help with KTM. Casey Cochran outside the points. Hardy Munoz again outside the points. Vincent Barola and Evan Ferry 37th. Like, dude, how much you were on a factory? You started this bike, and now you're 37th.
Yeah, I don't know. That's one of those ones that's just strange to me. Yeah. Honestly, we'll never hear the full story. No. So it's kind of weird, but he's a really good rider too. I mean,
well, he's really good at Instagram. We don't know.
That's what I was just gonna say. There's so much social media hype around him that I think that's more of his forte.
We'll look at the results. Hayden Deegan obviously 1-1. Levi Kitchen, Tom Vial, Chance Hymas, Jalik Swoll, Joe Shimoda with a 8-6 gets sixth. I always laugh at some of the results when you start looking at the overalls and you see where they finish. Nate Thrasher got seventh with an 11-7. Like I think it's pretty funny. Like you just never know how the results are going to go. Joey Savacci, welcome back, top 10, and I think it would have been higher had he not had that crash the second moto.
Yeah.
Because he's not in the championship hunt right now. But damn, I think he can be a disruptor.
Yeah.
I think he can be a disruptor. Ryder D, 10th. Julian Beaumer, congratulations, 13-9. That was a sneak up for top 11 finish. Mark Phineas, 14-11. Ty Masterpool with a 24-10 gets 15th. Dude, you scored points for Pro Circuit on your initial ride with them. That's not bad, considering you got hired by them on Thursday.
Yeah, there.
Yeah,
I mean, there's, like I said, there's a lot of obstacles to overcome for him. So
you beat guys who have been riding for a while. Daxton Bennick, Casey Cochran, Cody Schock. And I didn't even go deep into the stuff, but for the others, are there any names? I don't think nothing really stands out to me. Evan Ferry, 37th. I don't know, man. I guess I'm just expecting more, but maybe I'm allured by the videos from Instagram.
Hats off to the HBI guys, because they're above a factory Triumph rider. So
yeah,
like I said, I think they're all gonna improve. It's a big change from Supercross to outdoors in such a quick amount of time. So jumping into the 450s though, like, kind of expected what happened.
I did not realize that Jett has never lost a race at this track.
I
didn't realize that.
Nope.
I also didn't realize that he's going for his. I mean, I realized that when we talked about it at Supercross, he's going for his 8th championship in a row.
Already.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Was he 21 years old?
I don't even think he's 21 yet. I think he's still 20.
Is he still 20?
Regardless, I mean, yeah.
That's nuts. But first moto, he goes out. He had a line that he was taking that no one else took. He also, I watched a video today, he was jumping jumps 2 feet lower than everybody was jumping.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, when you watch him, you don't see that.
No. It's just so smooth. I mean, honestly, and it was really cool to see Hunter up there with him as well. Like, that's, it's not normal, like, in the Supercross realm. So to see those two out doing their thing, and quite a ways ahead of everybody else. I mean,
hey, welcome back, AP.
Yeah, this is his forte.
This is his forte. Podium. He got on the podium. Chase Sexton. Can we compliment, like we dig on Chase Sexton? He crashed, and then he went down again and still came back to 4th place.
Yeah, he was flying. They were all flying, and there's a big social media guy, Dayton Briggs. He raced. He kind of did a video afterwards. He's like, you can't put into words how fast those guys are actually going until you're out there racing them.
Yeah.
He said riding with them is different, but actually racing them, like, it's not even possible for a bike to go that fast, and they do it so quietly. He said their bikes are so quiet when they're coming up through like that, and then they pass you, and next thing you know, they're gone. So.
No, I'm not gonna dig on Chase Sexton. I'm gonna congratulate him because he had 2 falls. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's the bike. I don't know if he's pushing so hard. I don't really give a damn. Dude, he finished 4th after 2 falls. I want to give a congrats to Justin Cooper, the top Yamaha.
Yeah.
The only Yamaha right now, factory-wise. Justin Barsha, Dylan Ferrandis. He's training with Hunter and Jett, and he's finishing exactly where he finished in Supercross, 7th.
I truthfully, I don't expect much more. No. I don't.
Malcolm Stewart, 8th. Good job. Congratulations. Phil Nicoletti, 9th. The dude is old. He's weathered. He's crotchety. And he's just out there plodding along. He beats Jason Anderson. And he beats Dean Wilson. But I want to congratulate Colin Park out of nowhere. 12th.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Christian Craig comes back for a 15.
I'm not impressed.
No, I think he should be better than that.
I'm
But
not impressed.
he has been dealing with some issues for a while
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
so it's gonna take him some time, I think.
What I wanted to, I think the reason I highlighted all this, I wanted to highlight Colin Park, Freddie Noren, sorry, Marshall Welton, and Grant Harlan all finished in the top 20. That's awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah.
The one that shocked me when I turned the page, because you're watching it on TV, you're watching the results. I didn't know that Jerry Robin finished 18th.
No, I didn't know that either.
The outdoors and him are not always friends,
No.
friends or fans. Justin Hill got a point or a couple points now. I saw Justin Hill qualified amazingly, and I'm like, I am not picking him in fantasy. There's no way that he's actually going to be able to go 35 minutes. He did for one moto and got a point. Jake Masterpool, by the way, if you have the capacity and can help out HBI, Jake Masterpool is running a gas for the HBI team right now, and I guess he had some engine troubles.
Yep.
And they're looking for donations. They will match those donations. Those donations can help. You can go to Fund My Race, I think.
Yeah, fundmyrace.org.
And donate to HBI. They're trying to get Jake a spare engine for the next rounds and moving forward, because I guess he had some engine troubles. Just outside the points on his first ride with HBI. Kyle Chisholm, Shane McElrath. Did they go down in the first?
They were in that first turn debacle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and the guy you were talking about, Dayton Briggs, 33rd. That's respectable. Like, dude, you're in the motos, and you're 33rd. Because I say respectable because let's go to.
Well, that's his first pro race.
Really? Oops, we just lost that page. Josh Moseman. Josh Moseman is like 35, 36 years old and is a test rider for Motocross Action. No, Motocross. Who's the one that wears the orange helmets?
I can't remember who he tests for,
but
off the top of my head. But yeah,
he's riding a KTM 350.
Yeah,
and goes out, puts it in the motos, and finishes 37th. Off the couch. Like, he rides.
Oh, yeah.
He rides.
He doesn't do this.
He doesn't do this.
This is not his.
No, his job is he is told by Jody Weisel, go have fun.
Yeah.
Do it. Don't hurt yourself. And they were like, hey, let's see if we can get a 350 into the motos.
Yeah. And he does.
And it's a stockish 350.
It's definitely not a factory 450.
No. So congratulations to him. Like, that's amazing. Like, honestly, I saw his results and I'm like, the dude's not young. He's out there and he's still putting it in the motos, and it's like, because their home track is Glen Helen. That's where they do all their testing, all their stuff. So this is not like a home race for him. It's not like a benefit for him to be out there. Moto 2, we actually had a little excitement.
Yeah, Chase was closing on Jett. I don't think it would have been an issue.
I don't think he could catch him because he could not do that line that Jett was doing.
No, Jett was so fluid that I watched some of the drone footage, and it looks like it's a video game. They have that drone that follows them at the same speed, and it looks like a video game, and it's just so fluid.
Every time they would get up to that step up section, Jett would just pull them.
Well, you'll notice, like, I noticed because I look at the bikes, but Jett had bike problems, like he wasn't comfortable. They figured it out a little bit better in Moto 2, but if you look at Jett's bike, Jett's rear wheel will flow with the track, and the fender will stay the same. Obviously it'll go up and down a little bit. Chase's bike, though, the whole bike moves.
Yeah. So
you'll never be able to match the speed of Jett when your whole bike's coming off the ground and Jett's driving.
Yeah.
That I think that's going to be if Chase can't figure that bike out and get that bike set up to where he's fluid like Jett is, it's never going to be a competition.
So which is more frustrating? would it be more frustrating to be 1.3 seconds behind or 40 seconds behind and just be like, dude, I don't have it? Like, what's more frustrating? Because like, he was close. He closed on him. He gained on him, and then he'd lose, and he'd close, and he'd gain. Because the two of them, once Chase cleared Hunter, they left him.
Yeah.
It was over. And Hunter finished almost, 41 and a half seconds behind?
Yeah.
I mean, that is
big
huge.
gap.
That's a huge gap. Huge gap.
Mm-hmm.
But Hunter, again, third. Jason Anderson, just doing Jason Anderson things. Like, I know he's on troll training now, and it was supposed to be quiet. And the dude, for all the crap that we thought, Jason Anderson was just this party guy, the dude is a warrior.
Yeah.
Dylan Ferrandis got 5th. Justin Barcia, again, another great moto. Malcolm Stewart, another great moto. Justin Cooper, good moto. Phil Nicoletti, 9th again. Freddie Noren, Marshall Wilton, Aaron Plessinger. He must have gone down.
Yes.
Okay.
He did.
Romain.
I think it was just a small tip over, but obviously that's enough to put you back a ways.
Romain Pape, I'm not sure. Shane McElrath. Colin Park, again, another top 20 moto. Dean Wilson. By the way, Dean Wilson racing out a pickup truck sponsored by Team Fried and ProMX.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not even supposed to be racing.
Yeah. He wasn't going to.
No. He's like, sure.
He's out there doing it now.
Christian Craig, 17th. I have got to see more from Christian Craig. Or do us a favor, man. You've got some great sponsorship deals with your TikToks and your family. Move on with life.
Yeah.
And this is not good.
Not for a factory ride.
No. Not when your teammates finish in top 10.
Yeah.
And Justin Barcia on the same bike is finishing 6th. Chase Sexton is finishing 2nd. Aaron Pleshinger's on the podium. You were back here twice.
And you're better than Malcolm, honestly.
Well,
I mean, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, should be. So I think it'll improve. I think the elbow stuff will. He hasn't been on a bike very long.
No. Well, I mean, I think I was listening to a podcast today, and when Malcolm came back this year, he had been off the bike 11 months.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's tough to come back from that stuff, but
and get back into the rhythm.
Yeah, I agree. Grant Harlan, I highlighted him because 2 top 20s. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I always highlight 21st because, good God, man, you raced for 35 minutes and you just finished outside the point.
You just missed it.
I think, is it this year that 21st gets a point?
I don't know.
They changed the point structure this year.
I haven't even looked at the point structure.
I'm not sure. Jerry Robin, Justin Hill, like I said, Justin Hill, he made it one moto, and then I think realized, holy shit, this outdoor stuff is harder than I anticipated.
Justin Hill is known for, you watch some of his social media stuff, his YouTube, they build some big booters, and that's just what they do.
Yeah.
They can jump anything. So, like, outdoors is cool for him, but it's mainly the big jumps.
Yeah. And then your guy that you were talking about, commenting how fast, Dayton Briggs, 34th. I'm going to say this. If this is your first pro race and you did 33, 34, that's not bad.
No.
That's respectable. I mean, if you and I could do 33, 34 in our first pro race,
I'd be happy.
We'd be happy. Mosman, 37th, again, like, unbelievable. And we touched on Jake Masterpool needing some engine help. The results, dude, I feel like that guy on one of the talk shows where, like, they just throw their papers off.
Yeah.
Jet Lawrence goes 1-1. Hunter Lawrence 2-3, gets 2nd. How cool is that? They were the first brothers since the Jones brothers to go 1-2.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
They're breaking all kinds of records, and it's a cool family dynamic.
I wonder what their combined income is.
Enough.
I don't care because I want to know, because I'm curious as, like, oh my God, I'm just curious, like, they're such a family unit that it would be amazing to see what their pot is.
Yeah. I'm sure it's
they're doing well. Yeah, they're doing well. Chase Sexton gets 3rd. Dylan Ferrandis somehow with a 7.5 gets 4th.
Yeah.
Crazy. Justin Barcia with gets fifth with a 6.6.
I mean, that's the name of
Yeah,
motocross. Honestly,
yeah.
it's we've won quite a few races this year and not won a moto.
It's just awesome. Jason Anderson gets sixth. Justin Cooper gets seventh. Aaron Plessinger with 312 gets eighth. Malcolm Stewart top 10, 8.7. Phil Nicoletti. This is where you get pissed off. Phil Nicoletti goes 9.9 for 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wait a second. What happened? And Frederick Noren gets 11th. Marshall Welton, awesome, top 15. Colin Park, top 15. Dean Wilson, coming off like I'm not even going to race outdoors, gets 14th. Christian Craig with a 15th. Shane McElrath, 17th. Grant Harlan, 18th. Derek Kelly with a 14 DNF somehow ends up with 19th.
Yeah. It literally all you do is add these points up.
Yeah.
Or these finishes. 2 and a 3 is a 5.
So
third's a 6.
yeah,
So it's confusing, but if you don't know motocross, that's honestly how it works.
Yeah, it's a crazy scoring system. But that was Paula. It's never the rider's favorite. It is the first race. It's Fox Raceway, sorry. But we go to Hangtown, which has been on the calendar since I think they invented motorcycles. The Dirt Diggers group will be out there,
Mm-hmm.
off cambers, ruts, some cool jumps.
It'd be totally different.
Totally different track. Northern California versus Southern California. I feel like I don't think the riders' positions necessarily are going to change. I'm curious as to how the riders adjust to the challenges ahead.
Yeah.
I think Deegan. I think Deegan created, in football they called it bulletin board material, where he said, "Yeah, I know Levi. He fades at the end of races." Well, Levi proved he didn't fade at the end of the second moto. I'm curious, what the hell was up with Levi's hair? What
I
was
didn't
he?
understand it.
Is he talking about a cheetah? Is he
There
a
was some
cougar?
post
Is he?
about it, and I didn't even pay attention to it because I thought it looked terrible.
I mean, it's not a good look.
No.
Not a good look, but it's okay. It is what it is. I mean, he's living his best life. He finished second in the pro motocross. I mean, I really can't argue with his.
Whatever he's got to do.
Yeah, but no, we're going to Hangtown. But we will talk about Hangtown next week. Let's talk about 827 motocross. There have been some awesome edits. There's a lot of stuff going on. We got Dade City this weekend coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Another round of Dade City. Will we see the 827 crew at Dade City this weekend?
We will be. Try to get some more gate drops. It's been busy. It's just all business right now. Like you said, we did some pretty cool edits this week. Put out a lot of social media content, got a lot of traction. We did an Onium goggles edit. We did a ride for them with a photo shoot and kind of got to showcase their goggles a little bit. It was pretty cool. Caleb went out to the farm in Dade City and rode at the farm and did that shoot. CNC Photos did an awesome job at that. It was really cool, the footage that we got. We kind of put some other videos together this week. We got Dade City this weekend. Sunday we have another photo shoot at Okeechobee. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on. Like I said, it's just all business right now. We're really, really trying to hammer down on sponsorships and getting things together and some possible training facility stuff here coming up. And there's really nothing exciting right now. Just the photo shoots, really. It's pretty cool. It's cool to get out there and get that kind of content. But as far as exciting stuff, it's not exciting. It's business. It's stressful. It's getting all the bearings going straight.
How is Caleb enjoying the Yamaha?
Loves it. Absolutely loves that bike. They're obnoxiously loud. They drive me crazy. But other than that, it's a really good bike. He's really comfortable on it. I think we've rode every single bike out there at this point, and the Yamaha just clicked. So he's doing really well on the Shred MX conditioning program. It's work.
Yeah, how explain you and I were talking a little bit before we got on camera, and he was talking about how it's actually tougher than he thought.
Yeah, Shred MX Conditioning they're an awesome group. Phil and Ashley Harris.
Which, by the way, they're going to regionals this weekend.
Yeah,
So we
at
want to wish
Red
them
Bud.
we want to wish them good luck.
Yes, and they're a fantastic couple. Together they are Shred MX Conditioning, but they have taken over all of our fitness and nutrition. So Caleb is on a very strict regimen. His nutrition's not strict yet. It's more just logging the food, logging his intake, and creating a program around it. He is on a fitness program with them right now, which is severely difficult compared to his typical fitness regimen. So um, it's a different thing for him. He's learning as we go, but the improvements of him as a rider just in the past month or two has been incredible. So I think we have a really bright future. We have regionals in 2 weeks in Georgia, so trying to get as much preparation in as we can before that, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, we can punch a ticket and then give us some, about a month to prep for Loretta's.
So, out of curiosity, like I've been watching this, I think it's cool. It's awesome seeing a rider go out. And I'm not a huge Instabanger guy, but like it's like, dang, this guy's like he's out riding, like brand new bike, out riding. He's got a smile on his face, and he's trying to do the work. And I see that from the social media side. So, what is something like where 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 can where can I help? Where can I help? Where can others help? What can be done to kind of aid this along?
We're truthfully right now, like for bringing outside people in, it's literally like funding. I mean, it's parts, everything at this point. Like we're so behind everybody else. It's just it's like it takes an army. I've said that 100 times, and it truthfully does. It takes an army to get him to that next level.
Yeah.
Becoming pro is not cheap, and we've got the fitness and nutrition under control. We finally got a bike. We really need to land graphics. We need to land the basic necessities. We did get an opportunity through RTR Parts in Dade City for parts at cost for regionals. So that's a huge help. To get whole shot device and wear and
Yeah.
tear parts and air filters, chain lube, all the nonsense that will just burn through at regionals. Um, but yeah, it's at this point it's literally just trying to get some funding to because Caleb works a 9 to 5. I got a business. I got kids. I got the race team on top of a business that I try to juggle. So um, at this point, we're just trying to get him to as many races as we can, and the goal is Loretta's at this point, so we can get the pro card. But after that, it's if we don't make it to Loretta's, then it's going to be really focusing on the pro-ams, and that obviously takes a ton of money to travel around and um, try to get some of those pro points and or focus on mini-O's where we can hit the all-time goal of Supercross by 2025. So um, I think we want to. I was really really leaning on running his bike on like a T4 or but we're with everything going on in the VP world, kind of leaning against that and trying to see if we can find another fuel sponsor and just run that bike a little bit cooler and give it that little bit more power that we need. And um, like I said, gear. It's all gear and wear parts and graphics really at this point to just really help edge it along. And travel. It's all travel really.
Yeah.
The money spent at these races is astronomical at that level. So and then he's doing a lot of traveling for these photo shoots, and he lives 2 hours north of here, so Okeechobee's 2 hours south of here, so it's a 4 hour round trip to go do a photo shoot, and um, but it really it's obviously it's working, it's getting our name out there. It's really cool to have these shoots, and I'm hoping to go down with him Sunday for this photo shoot at Okeechobee and take my boys down and kind of do like a little team edit real quick and see if we can talk the owners into Moto Bros getting all three of them on the track at the same time. But yeah, I would really like to get a sponsor for graphics right now to match all the bikes. Right now we don't look like a team at all, but like I said, it's all business right now. I'm more focused on hitting the goals than making the bikes look pretty. Um, I know a lot of people's focus is to make their bike look pretty before everything else, but they're not trying to do what we're trying to do. So um, there's just so many cards on the table at the moment that it's just getting the right hand.
Well, if you need an enclosed trailer for regionals, there's one sitting at the house, ready to go. It's got a wheel chalk already set up, ready to roll.
It might be. I think Caleb's family is actually going to go. I think if we don't take our camper, they have a family camper they're going to take. Um, I think I'll go up with them, just me, and we'll hang out for the weekend and do what we got to do. Just focus on putting it through. That's literally we're going to get up there and it's going to be straight business. I don't even obviously it's enjoyable, but we're going to try to take the fun out of it and really focus on punching a ticket.
Well, I wanted to ask you that question. I forewarned you I was going to ask, but I wanted to ask because it is a serious venture. We have a lot of fun and we joke about a lot of stuff, but this is something that you've locked into working with Caleb and you're working with other professionals in the industry. So it is a professional venture. So that was one of the questions I wanted to ask. But um, this weekend's just gate drop time at Dade City. It's one of those things, another points race. So for the kids, it's fun. For you, it's business. It's a chance to meet other people in the area who may be able to latch on to the journey that you and Caleb are going on with 827 MX. And I just wanted to touch on it because it's one of those things I want to touch on more and more as we get through this kind of the dog days of summer. We sit out here under this sweltering heat and do these podcasts talking about nationals and Caleb's journey along with you in 827. So we're going to touch on that every episode just to see where it's going, what it's like, because it's fun to see that for someone on the outside. It's fun to see that struggle. I know it sucks to be the person doing it, but for someone on the outside, it's fun to see that struggle because A, we can either make fun of it, or two, we can sympathize with it. And it's one of those things I completely understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the person that's going to make fun. I'm the person that's like, yeah, I get it, I understand, because I live that life in a different world, but I understand. So if there's anybody out there that's made it this far into the podcast and you're interested in helping 827, reach out to Derek, reach out to Caleb. They're on socials. You can find them, Derek Schaefer, DBS Custom Fabrication and Handyman Services, 827MX, Beyond the Curve MX Podcast. You can find him somewhere.
Yeah,
And if you can't find him and you know me, reach out. I'll give you his phone number. So
yeah, we're all over the place. I'm not afraid to give out numbers, emails. I mean, I'll talk with anybody and everyone that wants to be a part of it. Like I said, it takes an army, and I'm not bashful about it at all. I'm not looking to be secretive like a lot of the other teams are. It's a struggle. It really is. Luckily I thrive on stress, so um, it's definitely not a sleep easy concept.
yeah.
I spend a lot of nights. I'm up till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. I will sit. I will bluntly and honestly say that I will try to sit down and play a little Xbox or something for a little bit at night, just to bring me out of the world. Because if I don't, I'll sit on my phone and we'll literally focus on this race team and races, and I try to find a way to bring me out of it just for an hour or two, and but right after that I'm right back on it. And what do I got to do the next day or the same day? What I got to do when I wake up in
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours, because on top of owning a business, I'm running this as well. So there's a there's a lot of cards on the table. Like I said, there's so many different hands are being dealt right now, and all the hoops that we got to struggle through, and we'll get there. I think we're making incredible progress. Truthfully, for something that started from nothing and is still I don't want to say it's nothing because it's not.
Yeah.
It's gained a lot of traction, but we're really well known in the local area, so it's just cool to be that guy, but to also be, to know that you started this from scratch and to see where it's progressing. It does have its downfalls. Don't get me wrong. There's between the sleepless nights and the not being able to provide the way that you envision.
Yeah.
Um, but that's where we come up with other scenarios of it's not a it to me it's more how can we do it and not we can't. We find ways to jump the hurdles.
Well, that's the weekly roundup for 827. That was round 1 of the 11 rounds of Pro Motocross. We move north in California this week and head to Hangtown. Dirt Diggers put on this race. It's a unique track. It's got some cool features that have been around for years. It's always fun sitting down with Derek, even when he's wearing his Pat McAfee inspired
Oh yeah,
T-shirt today.
there was no getting dressed up for this one. It's hot. I've been working all day.
Hey, Pat McAfee makes millions of dollars on ESPN.
Yeah,
Wearing a cutoff T-shirt, so I mean, you can do it here.
I literally jumped off the phone from working with some potential training facilities, stuff to this. So, like I said, it's never ending. It's a grind.
By the way, we were working on a task, and we're not going to say what that task was, but you'll know what that task was when we're sitting in it doing an episode this summer.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so for Derek Schaefer with DBS Custom Fabrication and Handyman Services and 827MX, I am Trey Heath with Michelle and Trey Real Estate. This has been episode 56 of the Beyond the Curve DMX podcast. That was round 1 from Paula MX, better known as Fox Raceway. We move to Hangtown for next week, and we will see you all next week for round 2 and an update on the Dade City Motocross with 827.
Yep.
Bye-bye.